it's Kerry from Be More Betty. Welcome to another fun-filled session with me. So today I'm talking about the legs in particular. This is something that we obviously do generally need because we spend a lot of time walking or we spend a lot of time sitting, and the body can just get a little bit unhappy and can cause us quite a lot of tension. The two things that I use in my week quite a lot is a yoga strap and a ball. Now, you don't need either of these for these workouts, but these are just things that may enhance your training. So what I would do with the ball is I'd massage my feet. So I'll just put the ball on the floor and I'd massage my feet for around about 3 to 4 minutes, especially if I'm going to do something like a run. My performance is going to be better if my foot is more mobile, and also long walking as well. You can also do that at the end of the day if you've got tired feet, if you've been on your feet all day, you can use the ball just to release the fascia. I will do another video about footwork and fascia because it's a really interesting subject. Fascia makes up about 30% of our body mass, and it is connective tissue, kind of like a soft skeleton that runs from your foot all the way up to your head. And that is why there's a foot condition called plantar fasciitis. It can be really uncomfortable. And like I say, if you've got any of those conditions, I would definitely use a mini ball and massage your feet for about 3 to 4 minutes as often as you can. Now, the other thing that I have is, I say, a strap here, and that just helps your legs get into a better anatomical position. But if you don't have that, you could use a dressing gown belt or a leather belt, something like that, if you've got one to hand. So I'm just going to put those on the floor. And we're actually going to start our workout standing in a calf stretch. So what you're going to do is take one really big step forward. And really importantly, you're going to look at your back foot and make sure that it's not that way around. It's not facing sideways. So just lift your heel, turn the foot around and put your heel down. So both of your legs are facing forwards, your hips are facing forwards, and your belly button and chest are all anatomically aligned. And you're going to just push your heel down. And notice that stretch in the back of your leg. You can obviously hold on if you want to. Now, what I notice when I do a lot of sports is that my ankle on this back leg tends to roll in a bit because it's tight in my calf. So I'm going to roll my ankle out externally slightly so that it feels like my ankle and my knee are in line. I'm sorry, I keep itching my nose. I've got hay fever. If I wait till my hay fever's finished, the summer will be over. So I do apologise for rubbing my nose. Now soften your knee. And if you can, go a little bit deeper into that stretch. But you must keep your heel planted down. And just take some nice gentle breaths. So your breathing is also really important to your workout. We don't want laboured breathing. We don't really want us to be holding our breath because that's not good for our relaxation. So all of my workouts incorporate the mind and the body together. So if you can try to breathe comfortably throughout the session, and also if the exercises get hard and you notice that your breathing has stopped temporarily, it might be that you just need to back off that exercise just a little bit. So try to pay attention to the breath. And then we're going to take a small step in. This is a bit of a weird one. The soleus. So your soleus muscle is underneath your calf, a bit lower down, and you're going to just soften both knees. And then with your coccyx bone, you're going to try to curl it downwards and under slightly. And you might notice a kind of deeper, achier stretch in the heel area, in the lower part of your leg and into the foot. So we're trying to improve the ankle flexibility as well in our lower body workout. Just keep breathing. And then slowly come up and step back together. So if you just march your feet out gently just for a few rounds, stand back on your legs and just notice the difference between the leg that you have done and the leg that you haven't done yet. So I notice that it feels quite warm, which is great. The circulation's improving. I also feel taller on that side. So we're going to take it to the other side. Again, just check that back foot and stand tall. And again, just keep your breathing nice and relaxed and calm. So I often get asked, how long do we hold a stretch for? About a minute minimum. It feels like a long time when you're standing still, but it really will do you the world of good if you can hold it for longer. And then softening that knee if you can, but without letting that heel come up off the floor. So you can check in with your knees, making sure that your knees are over your ankles, that your back foot's not rolling inwards. So there's things that you can check while you're standing here, waiting for your body to surrender to the floor. And then take a small step in, maybe halfway. Again, soften the knees and then lengthen that tailbone down. So when our body feels, nice and healthy and it feels mobile, it makes a big difference to how our mood is. We know if we're in pain and we've got those niggles, it kind of makes our mental well-being slightly more uncomfortable as well, because it's constantly in the back. So if you can take the time, because you deserve it, to look after your body and do some of these workouts, even if you don't have to have time to do it all, it really does make a difference over time. And then step together and just march out. So even if you had time to do those two stretches before you start your day, it will definitely have an impact on the back of your body and in particular your spine. So now we're going to come to the back of our mat and we're just going to bend the knees. We're going to fold forward and we're just going to walk or crawl out to our mat and just pop the knees down. So spreading your fingers out, and again, anatomically, you ideally want your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. And we're going to go into cat and cow. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, start to curl your coccyx bone under, pull up through the center of your spine and tuck your head down and see if you can look at your thighs. And then lift the head, stick your bottom up in the air and drop your spine. So we're going to go for those 2 points. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in as you exhale. You can push your legs into the floor a little bit. And then inhale, lift. So we're trying to move the spine as much as possible through those planes. Just be aware of your balance, that you're not leaning on one knee more than the other. If you are, just try to pay attention. Also your hands, making sure that you're using all of your fingers and even your thumbs rather than just the palm. So exhaling as you curl inwards, really try and tuck that head in. Inhaling as you lift upwards. One more, exhaling down. Inhaling up. And then come back to the middle. We're going to open the knees and bring the toes together and lean back if you can. If you have got knee issues, then you might want to miss this one out. You can just turn around and lay on your back. And if it feels good, you're just going to lengthen the fingers and just drop the chest. Just take some nice breaths here. So we're always trying to use the breath to facilitate calmness in the body. Obviously, when we're calm, we're more relaxed. The muscles tend to relax even more. And then just bringing your hand down, one of your hands down, a little bit closer to your body. You're going to walk this hand over on an angle to actually stretch the side of your body. Just breathing into your upper body now. And then come back to the middle and take that over to the other side. Try to open your shoulder, try to rotate your shoulder outwards. And then come back to the start position. We're going to come back onto our knees, hands and knees. And this time we're going to balance on one leg. We're going to take the other leg back and just tuck your toes, even the pinky toe if you can do that, into the floor and push your heel away. So you're stretching through the whole of the back of your leg. And just hold that position. And then again, keeping your balance, you're going to pull your stomach in, push in through your leg that's on the floor and lift this leg up. Take it over to the other side and again, push the heel away. And then look over your shoulder. This is a gorgeous stretch for the hip. Down the side of your body. Come back to the middle. And we're going to switch sides. So this is a nice, slow, controlled workout today, pushing through the heel. And then lifting the leg up. Again, pull your tummy in to do that. Take the leg over and over the shoulder. Try and admire your foot. Push the heel away and feel that lovely stretch in the back of your leg. Come back to the middle. Again, open the knees, toes together, and stretch forwards. So if you do a lot of traveling, this child's pose position is really nice just to open up the shoulders and the back. And then come back up. Well done. You're going to turn round. If you have got one of these straps, by the way, you might want to get it now and bring it quite close to you so you've got it there. If not, don't worry. You're going to slowly roll down, pulling your tummy in, roll yourself down, and then have a really nice big stretch through the whole body. And then just bring your arms down to the ground. So we're going to bend the knees. So again, I'll show you with and without the strap. You're going to take your right leg up to the ceiling, hold the back of your leg, and what you're trying to do is keep your head on the floor and try not to look back. So you want to be looking up at the ceiling with your chin tucked in. So we're trying to create length in the back of the neck rather than shortening the back of the neck. Now, if you can't do that, if it's too difficult, then put a pillow underneath the back of your head. You want to be able to have your face, your forehead, and your chin in alignment. And then if you have got a belt or a strap, I'll show you the other way to do it, is to actually use the strap to your advantage to push the leg up to the ceiling. So you've got two options. You can either hold your leg or you can push your leg up. And again, with your arms, you want to relax the shoulders. You don't want your shoulders up by your ears. Trying to facilitate some nice calming breaths through the body. And then what I'm going to do here is slowly slide my other leg out. Now you don't have to take the leg all the way out. You want to keep your back on the floor. So if your back's arching, then stop there. If you can make it all the way to the end, you're going to flex your foot, hold strap in one hand and take it slowly out to the side. And again, you can do this without. You can just hover the leg in the air if you don't have the strap. Also importantly is the alignment of our knees. So you're going to externally rotate the thigh out slightly. So your knees turned out. And you want to feel this stretch in the inner thigh area. So the reason why I use the props in these exercises is because your leg bone is very heavy. It's heavy to hold it in air. So it's better ideally to have something to support you. And then taking a nice deep breath in, you're going to pull that leg back up. Well done. And just pause. Now, the other way is quite difficult. It's a different set of muscles. This IT band can get really tight. So hold on, take a breath, and go across. Remember, breathing is key. So if you notice that it's really telling you that it's tight, just try to keep breathing. If your breathing has been labored because it's just too painful, then you've gone too far. So you've got to lose that ego, come back a bit. And again, externally rotate the thigh. You don't often realize that you need support in your stretches until you do them. But you'll feel super duper afterwards. And then slowly come back to the ceiling. And we're going to make this easy today. We're going to do all our stretches on one leg and then we're going to switch. So you're going to bend that left leg back in and then take your right leg, whichever leg you've got in your hand, across. And just keep breathing. So we're trying to turn this knee out to the side. Just do your very best. Again, the main thing is your neck and shoulders feel nice and relaxed. And you can stay in this position. And this is only an option, but we're looking at the glutes, obviously a big muscle group and very important. And we're going to lift that leg up. So again, you've got some options. By holding the strap, you can keep your head down. Or what I could do is move the strap, if you haven't got one, and hold my ankle. Or if you can get there, you can hold the back of your leg. You want to make sure that you're not in this position because you've got to stay there for quite some time. So choose a position that works for you. And we're trying to push this hip away from us. It can be quite hard to breathe when you definitely feel the stretch, but just try to marry the two up. And then slowly bring that leg down, uncross the leg carefully, and just swish the legs from side to side. Notice the side that you've done. It's quite amazing compared to the side that you haven't done. So already I'm starting to feel, even though I'm filming this, there's a little bit of pressure. I still feel really relaxed in my body. It feels really nice. And then taking my other leg up. Again, you can hold on with your hands. You want to also make sure that you're not pulling your leg in too far, that your bottoms come off the floor. So depending on your flexibility, you can go further, but just make sure your bottom stays down on the mat. I'm trying to lengthen up through the back of my thigh. So from a sports perspective or performance perspective, I know I've been doing this a long time. If I stretch in my week, I actually tend to run faster. I seem to have more of a spring in my step. I seem to have more endurance and more kind of energy. And then stretching that other leg away now, we're going to take the leg out to the side. So stretching, obviously, it is functional, but it's really, really good, not only for improving your flexibility, but also preventing injuries. It's when we don't look after our body and we don't stretch, we're just rushing, from work to family, which is quite normal. But then we start to get those little niggles, and if they're untreated, those niggles can turn into, you know, real issues, which can be quite expensive. Come back to the middle. Remember to smile through this one. There is that real urge to pull it and bear it, no pain, no gain. Try to avoid doing that because your body will just lock up. Just hang out there. And what you might notice is after 30 seconds or so, you start to feel that it gets a bit easier. Then, of course, you can try to pull the leg over a little bit more. The main thing is trying to get length in your hip. So, pushing your hip away from you to create more space in the side of your body rather than pulling the leg up too high. Check in with the breath again, and then slowly come back. And then set that leg up. You're going to take that leg across and just hang out there. So the reason why I prefer using a yoga strap to a resistance band, for example, is it's a solid, it doesn't bend. And obviously the weight of our legs are so heavy, sometimes the bands are too flexible, so they don't really help too much. Obviously it's entirely up to you what you use, but it's just my personal choice. And then you're going to pick that leg up. So again, try to keep the knee turned out, relax through the shoulders. Taking one more breath in and out here. And then slowly bringing that leg down to the floor. Well done. Uncross the legs really carefully. And just swish the legs from side to side. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little exercise, which I love. It's kind of a Pilates exercise based that I do when I'm teaching my classes online. And it's called painting the wall. And I absolutely love it. So this is nice as well because you can keep your head on the floor. So let's have a practice together. We're going to bring the arms down to the sides and just create a little bit of length through the fingers. And then balancing on one leg, you're going to pick the other leg up. So keeping your bottom on the floor, you want to extend that leg up, just like you did holding the strap, and flex your foot. Now keep the foot flexed, using your abdominals as well and pressing your arms gently into the floor, point the toe and come back up. Flex the foot and go down, lengthen the front of the thigh and point. So not only are you working your foot, your ankle flexibility, You're also working your stomach muscles, stretching the front and the back of the leg at the same time. So this is what I call a mobility exercise. And just breathing calmly while you're doing it. We've got 2 more on this leg. There are more advanced versions with the head up. If you want those, just pop me a message. Come all the way back up and then bend that leg. So you can feel that you've done a bit of work there. Now we're going to switch sides, so balancing on the other leg. Pick the leg up and extend. So really important we're not holding tension in the shoulders. Flex the foot, go down, stomach, point. So make sure if you can that your foot is working in both directions, just like a paintbrush. And as I said, because the legs are heavy, you are training your stomach. As the leg goes lower, it's going to be slightly harder. So just put the leg where you feel you can manage. Last 2. Last one. Come back up and then bring the leg in. Well done. Now we're going to hug the right leg in. Now you can hold your hands under your knee or over your knee. Draw the knee up towards the chest. And then if you can, extend the leg all the way out. So this is a position that we would be in for single leg kick in Pilates. This is going to help you pull that leg closer towards the chest. Just keep breathing. We're just taking one more breath in and out here. And then switch the legs over. Just hug the other leg in. So there is a bit of activation through the arm muscles, of course, but you're trying to relax the face, relax the jaw. And then hugging both knees in. Just maybe rock yourself from side to side. You need to lift the head and either rock up or turn onto your side and roll up. Well done. So coming up to a seated position, we're going to hug one knee in towards the chest and just sit up really, really tall in your spine and flex that foot. So it's the same position as what we've just done, but we've got something to add on this time. And then taking this leg out to the side, you could put your leg on a pillow if you've got one nearby, or you can just leave it hanging there if it won't go to the floor, and then sit up really tall. And what we're going to do is have one hand on the foot, the other arm is going to come up and over and hold the outer part of our leg somewhere where you can manage with your foot flexed. So using your arm to gently pull your spine forwards. Try to avoid rounding into your back. And then slowly come up to seated and switch the sides. So if you do have a job where you're sat down a lot, obviously over time, over the day, we can kind of get into this slouching posture. So this is really good as a counter stretch for that. We often don't sit on the floor with our back straight or sit up with our back straight. Unfortunately, our cars and our sofas aren't designed that way. And the body just gets a little bit used to slouching. So taking a nice deep breath, bringing this arm up and over onto the outer part of our foot. Again, you're going to flex the foot. So not necessarily just pulling the toes back, try and flex from your ankle, push through the back of your leg. And again, you're using this arm to not only stretch your shoulder, but lean forward if you can. Remembering to breathe mindfully into your back. And then slowly coming back up, bring the legs back in. We're going to sit slightly forwards and take the hands backwards behind us. So lifting the chest up, just bring your bottoms forwards, open the feet so they're slightly wider than your knees, and just let one leg drop in. So knee drops. And try to keep your chest still rather than moving from side to side, lifting up through the chest, lifting your breastbone up towards the ceiling. So this is a great exercise, not only for your hips, but also your chest and shoulders. You can feel it in your arms. That's it. Last two, last one, and then come back to the middle. Just shake out your hands. And then we're going to come back onto our hands and knees again. So just bring your body to the end of your mat. We're going to take the time to do a little chest stretch. So interlace your fingers, lift the chest, and just gently look upwards, pulling the shoulders back. And then coming onto our hands and knees, we're going to do some foot pedals. So you're going to need your hands. You're going to tuck your toes, just soften your knees. And I want you to pull your head back to start with so that your ears match your arms. And then when you're there, you're just going to gently pedal the heels up and down. Just feel that stretch in the back of the legs, in the ankles. And then come back onto the knees. Well done. Walk your hands forwards and bring the legs together. And then travel forwards. We're going to do a kind of reverse press up. We're going to pull the tummy in, squeeze the legs together, and slowly come down onto the mat. Bringing your hands into a diamond shape, heels together. You're going to lengthen through the tailbone and lift the chest. And come back down. So take a breath in, relax the shoulders, and try to bend your upper back, pressing your tummy into the floor. You're pulling it in slightly. We're trying to bend the upper part of our body backwards and keep the lower body nice and long. We'll do one more here. And then next one, you're going to open the fingertips and bring your elbows down slightly. Lift the elbows slightly and lift the chest. So just making that a little bit bigger. So remembering the breathing can be quite difficult. Is try to breathe calmly, taking a breath in before you start, and then exhaling to come up. Come back down. Bring your elbows in. This is important. Imagine you're on a surfboard. Elbows in, stomach in. Push yourself up onto the knees. And then come up onto your knees. So opening the legs just a little bit. Bringing your arms out in front of you. You're going to press your legs into the floor, leaning forwards on your knees, and then keeping your stomach in. As you start to lean back, lengthen through the crown of the head, curl your bottom under, and make the letter Z. Come back up. One more, leaning back. Come up. And then take a big step forward with your leg, right leg forwards, turning the foot slightly out to the side. Bring your hands onto the ground next to your foot. And if you can, lean forwards. So in yin yoga, this is the dragon lunge pose. If you can, you're going to tuck your toes under if you've got that mobility in the ankle. If not, just leave the foot as it is. So I'm going to tuck my toes. I'm going to lengthen this leg out. So lunging forwards and pushing back at the same time. And then I'm going to start to circle backwards and forwards, just 4 in each direction. 3, 2, 1. Now the hand that's closest to your foot, you're going to take it off and you're going to turn and push through your back heel, hugging the midline of your body with your legs and come back down. So we're going to switch legs. Again, just bringing that knee forwards. Stretching, you can feel a big stretch through the hamstrings. And then again, if you've got the mobility to bend your foot, come up, extend that leg. And circle for 4, 3, 2, 1. And go the other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice strong position. Hand off and twist. Come back down. Pop the knee down and bring it back. Come back. Whoo. Lift the chest. Come back up onto the knees. I'm going to face forwards. You're going to take a step forwards. So stretch through the hips now and sides. You're going to sit up really tall on your knee and take your hand up to the ceiling. We're going to bend over to the side, and I want you to lengthen your tailbone, reaching through the side body. Come back up. One more. And come up. And then we're going to take that to the other side. So nice and tall in your spine. Arm up to your ear if you can. Take a nice deep breath in and bend to the side. Remembering the breathing. Exhale. And then come back. Well done. Come back to the floor. We're going to do one more little stretch. So a side bend is just splay your legs out like a mermaid. You're going to bring your arm slightly further forward than what you need it at the moment. And then you're going to come up, push through your hips and stretch to the side. Again, one more. Take a big breath in and push. And then swing round. Whee! Take that to the other side. Lovely. And then turn round. Bring your legs forwards and roll slowly down. Nice big stretch. Bring your arms down onto the floor. So our last exercise, shoulder bridge. So now you've opened up your hips, your side body, your shoulders, your chest. Hopefully this exercise is going to feel really good. So just bring your heels in line with your bottom and press your arms against the floor. Just relax your neck. Take a nice deep breath in. Now draw up through your pelvis. You're going to roll the hips. So you're going to engage the glutes to push the hips up to the ceiling. Push your energy forward, so lengthening through the hips here, through the thighs, and press your arms against the floor. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, now roll through the upper back first. Keep curling your bottom under, roll through the middle of the back second, and then roll through the lower back last. That's quite important. Take a nice deep breath in, and then we're reversing it. So roll through the lower back first, roll up through the middle of the back, and then up to the chest. Try not to put your weight in your head, put your weight in your back. Use your arms so you don't collapse. And then take a big breath and roll down again. Upper back, middle back, lower back, and bottom. Take a big breath, exhale, bottom, tilt the pelvis. So there is a sequence. You're trying to articulate through the bones. Exhale to come down. And I just want you to keep going. If you can do 2 more. And if you can, try to marry up your breathing with your movement. So the 2 go together like a team. So I just wanted to say well done on your workout today. I hope you really enjoyed that. If you want more of that, I do actually teach a Zoom session every Monday at 8:30 online. And I also have a full on-demand platform where there's over 40 videos that you can access for really good value. So if you're interested, just pop me a message in the comments or send me a message on my website, which is bemorebetty.com. Hope you have an amazing day, guys. Enjoy the sunshine if it's sunny where you are. It is sunny here today, so I'm taking every moment to lap that up.